Hey guys, it's Cash, and we have a lot to talk about tonight, this evening. So let me start off where I left off last time. I told you guys about Nebraska, about how I had a lot of doppelganger stuff, a lot of street theater there. So there was something that I forgot to tell you guys about. And it's something that happens a lot in targeting. It's something that I've noticed is a tactic that they use. I call the thing that they do, I call them anchor words, okay? So let me explain. So let's say you walk into a bar, club, wherever you're, a place, and a person strikes up a conversation with you. Maybe there's a little bit of indirect conversation in there. But then they're going to tell you that you look like a celebrity. They're not just going to walk up to you and say, hey, you look like this person. You're going to be in a conversation with somebody and be like, hey, you know who you remind me of? You know who you look like? Like, it'll be something like that, to that effect. And they'll be complimenting you and say, oh, you look like so-and-so, you look like this. Usually it's a celebrity, okay? Usually it's somebody that that it's like a common thread amongst, because you'll know of that person. They're not going to say you look like my sister. So what'll happen next is, let's say later on you go look at your phone. I don't know if you guys have the YouTube feed where you get e-news maybe or something like that, but later on you'll go and look at, or this is what happens to me. I'll go and I'll look on my phone, and that same celebrity that they said I look like, there will be like a negative, derogatory news article on that celebrity, or just something will not be going good with that celebrity. Or even in my explore page, like a meme will pop up of that celebrity, and it'll just be something not very nice as the heading of that meme. So that is something that happened to me also in Nebraska. They told me that I look like somebody, and then later on in my phone, this person that I just heard of with these people, I had never heard of this girl before. I guess she's like some kind of makeup artist or something, but she shows up in my explore page and is on a meme. And the meme wasn't so bad. I've seen worse ones than this, but it's just like so strange how it's like anchor words. That's why I call them anchor words. It's like they set an anchor, and then later on it's a means to like harass you, kind of like put it in your head. Like, because as you're reading the article, you're like, oh, like they just said I look like this person. So it's supposed to just like, I guess, get you in a mind frame of like negativity, toxic. Maybe that's what it's done for. That's the only thing I could really think. So let's move on to Denver. I had a wonderful time in Denver. The targeting there was not as bad as I expected it to be, being that it is a very liberal place. Something that happened there, I was driving through the mountains, so I was making a video for you guys while I was driving, okay, because I was going very slowly up this pass, and I had time to make a video, and I wanted you guys to be able to see, like, out the window or whatever, but I didn't post it. So I was talking about what happened in Nebraska in that video, about how people come up and tell you look like somebody. I was talking about Black Lives Matter and how it's more geared like they're trying to make it Black Lives Matter Democrats, and this Child Lives Matter more of a Trump movement. That's what I was talking about in this video, but I did not post it. I did not post this video, okay? But I talked for like 8 minutes, and I was just on my way to Utah. I was passing through Colorado to get into Utah. So on the way, I stopped at the hot springs in Colorado, in Glendale Springs or something. They have the largest mineral hot spring pool. So I stopped at this pool, and mind you, I did not post this video. Tell me why I was hit with street theater with exactly the things that I was saying in this video, by a bunch of different people. Like, I don't know how that could be when I didn't even post the video. And this phone is new. It is connected to an iCloud. So what I'm thinking is whoever's in charge of this targeting is in my iCloud, okay? Because it was probably about an hour from when I made the video to when I showed up at the Springs. And this guy, I had to pretend like I ignored it. See, all these people are actors. They do all this street theater. I have to be an actor too. I have to act like I don't know what these boners are doing, and it's like very exhausting sometimes. So I'm in the hot spring pool, and there's this guy, he just like swims up next to me, and this man comes out just like so randomly and was like, "Hey, do you know who you look like?" to the guy. And the guy was like, "Oh, who?" And they were talking about like some guy or whatever, but it was just so random how I was just talking about that for a video. I didn't post the video, okay? And then this guy just comes up to this guy and says that. And it was like so obvious that it was meant as a means of a harassment almost, or like just to creep me out a little bit, because just I could see if he like came up and was like talking to the guy like, "Hey, where are you from?" But just to like come out and say that, it was super weird. And then the guy next to me is talking about, you know, how Black Lives Matter is gonna get Colorado if they don't prosecute this guy for something that happened there. And it was just kind of like, and I don't really put myself out there to be spoken to, especially after like everything I've gone through with this targeting, but it just felt like everybody was like trying to come up and like start a conversation with me to, you know, indirectly say stuff. So that was wild. And then what happened? Oh, and then I walked outside and I came back in, and I thought it was like this cloud. I saw this huge cloud behind where I was sitting, and it ended up being a forest fire. So that happened. Then this is the creepiest of all, okay? From there I went to LA. So I'm staying in downtown LA at the Biltmore. And the next day I was thinking about extending my stay because it is a really nice hotel. If you've ever been there, the hallways are a little bit shining-ish. That kind of creeped me out a little bit, but whatever. It was really nice other than that. So in the morning when I wake up, I do my gym stuff, whatever, and I walk outside my hotel room. There's a little boy sitting. I thought it was a room, but later on, like 45 minutes later, when I went to go get ice for my cooler, I realized that he was just sitting for 45 minutes, no parents, no nothing, just sitting by himself by this ice machine. So I'm thinking to myself, when I first saw him, I was like, you know, should I say something? I was like, well, I'm just gonna ignore it. I don't know. So after 45 minutes, this kid's still sitting there. He's like crawling around on the floor and stuff. He was about 11 years old, but I don't know what he was doing, to be honest. So finally I went and said something. I went and said something to the front desk, and they got like a maintenance guy, and the maintenance guy was like, hey, oh, you know, where's your room and stuff? And it was just like so creepy. And then like I thought maybe I shouldn't have said anything, you know, but ultimately I'm glad I did, especially with everything going on with this Hollywood stuff. I was in LA, so I ended up telling somebody, and the guy knocked on my door later, and he's like, oh yeah, his parents were just asleep in a room. But I don't know what's going on in this world. I wasn't trying to be a Karen, but I just thought that, you know, an 11-year-old boy at a hotel just looked kind of strange. So I don't know, and especially in my experiences in Miami, like I don't know if they set that up, you know, because I have talked about how it's common to see children alone. Like they'll just leave an unattended child, or like sometimes like just a random child will just come up and speak to you. You know, I don't know if it's some kind of like, if they're trying to see like a trap maybe. I don't know. I really don't understand the thing with the children, you know, but when you walk out of your hotel room and you just see a little boy sitting there by himself, it is a little creepy. It's weird. So I checked out of there. I got out of there as fast as I could after that. I was like, you know what? Next time. Thanks, Biltmore. I'm not saying by any means that the Biltmore is involved in any type of child trafficking or anything. All I'm saying is it was just strange. So, what else do I have for you guys? That's really about it. Place I'm at right now, I'm kind of not going to tell anybody until I leave. So, yeah, that's all I have for right now. I hope that everybody has a wonderful evening. And as always, God bless.